Number 17, Juan Martin Lopez. Number 18, Guido Pareos. Number 22, Matias Rey. Number 24, Manuel Brunet. Number 26, Augustin Mazzini. Number 27, Lucas Rossi. And number 31, last but not least, goalkeeper, Jake Lassie, Augustin Abrate. And the coach is Carlos Rettegi. The umpires of today are from Scotland, Martin Madden, and from Poland, Marcin Grosjan. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a sports presentation meeting.
Muchachos, partido para jugar, no se vuelve a jugar. Hay que jugar, defender, bloquear. Defender es bloquear, pero también es atacar, ¿está claro? Cuando tenemos el lugar para atacar por el izquierdo, atacamos. Profundidad, ganamos la espalda y atacamos. ¿Está claro? Se juega una vez, no se vuelve a jugar. No lo dejemos pasar de largo. El culo cerrado, defensa, córner, en los córneres. Trabajemos el partido. ¿Está claro? ¡Vamos! Dale. Vamos.
Match day 3 for men's Pool B. Welcome to a pleasant Friday here at the Kyocera Stadium in The Hague as the Black Sticks of New Zealand prepare to take on the Lions from Argentina in very pleasant conditions, but a very crucial game for these two nations. New Zealand with a great start to the tournament, playing the two lower ranked teams in this pool, Korea and South Africa, and getting good wins. They've got a tough road home, and Argentina, well, they picked up a win against Germany last start to have them right in the mix. They've got through the Dutch, they've got through the Germans, Argentina, and have one win and one loss. So you get the feeling that the result of this game today will be absolutely crucial if one of these two nations is to aspire to perhaps surprise the hosts or the Germans and squeeze into the medal rounds. I'm Quentin Hull, three-time Olympian Simon Mason, my company, in commentary. Very pleasant scene here, Simon, and I'm really looking forward to the two form lines colliding here. We'll learn a bit more about these two teams today.
We will indeed, and it'll be a case of whether Argentina's defensive shape from that Germany game has held up over the recovery day and can hold up again today against New Zealand, because they've got some informed players. The likes of the Panchia boys can certainly come out and cause some problems in English up front. So if they start to get on form, Argentina are not going to be able to lose their focus, and then they can start to rely on the aggression of their forward runners, particularly a player like Mazzilli, who's really troubled everybody so far this competition.
So the Black Sticks stride out. 2-1 over Korea, 5-0 over South Africa. That's the form guide so far from the men from New Zealand. While Argentina lost 3-1 to the Netherlands and beat Germany 1-0. As is custom, we'll have the anthems before we get into this match day 3 Pool B men's encounter.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthems of both countries, starting New Zealand.
South American flair, even at the end of the anthem of Argentina. The Pan American Cup champions, ranked number 11 in the world, up against the improving team out of New Zealand, who have risen to number 6 in the world rankings, despite finishing 9th at the last World Cup and 10th at the London Olympics. So a terrific performance at World League has ensured that this Kiwi team has a lot of respect among the competition, captained by a man who's playing his 309th appearance today, Dean Cousins.
Yeah, and even a massive amount of experience, and is also one of the players who is really working with video referral very, very well. Really smart questions being asked, and it'll be between him and the coach, Colin Bax, that we see on screen now, who've determined how they play those all-important referrals.
A roar from the Lions as they prepare for this vital clash. Lucas Ray, the captain, approaching a 200-cap mark. But plenty of experience in this team as well, with some young flair.
Right, it's the flair that is so important. Their defensive shape's fantastic, but their captain will lead them through the whole thing, Lucas Ray, and then it'll be people playing off him. But I think their goalkeeper, Vivaldi, will have a huge part to play.
Marcin Groszal of Poland is joined as Argentina, well, just have to hold fire. False start there. Martin Madden of Scotland's the other umpire today. And this time we are away with the blue and white stripes of the Lions of Argentina attacking the left of screen and the black of New Zealand to the right of screen in glorious conditions. It was a bit chilly yesterday, but even though there's a bit of breeze around and cloud above, it's going to be hot for the players, but certainly spectators will appreciate the fact that it's a couple of degrees warmer today. Pelliat. And already Hague ensuring there's a high press on Lucas Ray, who's back there in that all-important central defensive position. And Simon, you mentioned that the structure of Argentina in defence was something that's impressed you throughout the tournament so far.
Yeah, and what they did so well against the Germans is they held their shape and shuttled across the pitch as an entire unit. The Germans didn't handle the ball quickly enough through the midfield channels laterally. Consequently, Argentina were able to hold their shape. But that early press from New Zealand suggesting that they decided that if they get out and put pressure onto that back three of Argentina, making them force the ball through midfield, they can then pick up some possession and counter with pace.
Pelliat's ball was pretty good, but just uncontrolled from Lucas Villa. Hayward, fresh from a hat-trick against South Africa, restarts. That's off the foot. Edwards scored the fastest goal of the tournament, just 13 seconds into the game against Korea. I don't think that's going to be beaten, but you never know.
There's a lot of people who missed that goal, hadn't made their seats during the course of that game, and this one, however, not quite started with the pace of that last match. But what New Zealand have to be careful of is just pressing too high with too many players as Argentina frustrate them with a compact defence. New Zealand throw more people through midfield and then Argentina win the ball. They'll be playing 2-on-2.
Well, McAleese with the long release looking for Marcus Child. These two teams do have some recent history at the World League tournament in January. They played in the quarterfinals there, and through regulation and extra time it was 1-1. But the Black Sticks did progress that day, courtesy of a 4-3 win in the penalty shootout. So that shows you that even of recent times, not much between these two teams. And you can go back to the tournament of 4 years ago in Delhi. Argentina won on that occasion by 1-0. So that's a couple of the major results of relatively recent history between these two hockey nations.
And what we've seen through the course of this World Cup pretty much so far is that there isn't such a gap between the top and the bottom anymore. All the teams are able to compete, and it's quite rare that you get more than a couple of goals spread on the results. Yes, there are some. South Africa game, obviously 5-0 for New Zealand, but they're an anomaly nowadays in major tournaments because the conditioning of these players is exceptional, and physically they can all compete with each other pretty much on an even par. and that, as the later stages progress, dictates the games remain close.
Gilardi gets the ball down the wing, and Simon Child is there to ensure no 3-1 for Juan Martin Lopez. Crash ball is well defended by the captain. Nice work from Tarrant. Engel set the task, and Gilardi up to it.
Yeah, the tough ask of Ingles as the ball was floated through from Tarrant. He just got a little edge that took it away from Ingles. He felt he might have got a free hit.
It's good work from Edwards, 28-year-old. An appearance 179 today. He's leaving it for his teammates to again reset round the back. Cousins. Argentina patient in midfield, and again the long ball to the back line. The target, Marcus Child, was there again, but he trapped it into his foot as Colin Batch looks on. Marcus Child, younger brother, about 3 years difference between he and Simon.
Difficult pick-up for Child near the baseline. Argentina had set a semicircle of players on the line to goal, so it was very difficult for Cousins to put the ball into a dangerous position, and therefore Child had to lead out away from the goal mouth, trying to pick the ball up on his reverse. Tough trap.
Well, Aaron Pancher combines with Simon Child, so the two older siblings of the brother pairings trying to work it down the left for the Black Sticks. Tarrant back to the reset from Cousins to Hayward. Shaw's very wide. His 50th appearance today. Congratulations to Alex Shaw. And a nice touch, though, from Brunet. Dispossesses him. So Marsili back to the reset, and he's straight off with the interchange continuing to tick over. And you'd expect it's going to play a pretty good part today, with the conditions no doubt to be felt later on in the contest. Unfortunately, Lucas Martinez without the trap there.
And the conditions will undoubtedly play a part as the game progresses. As I've already said, these athletes are exceedingly well conditioned, and the sun on their backs while they were warming up would probably have felt quite nice compared to what we saw yesterday, which was torrential, monsoon-esque rain, particularly in the England-Malaysia game, when just during the course of the anthems the players were soaked through to the skin, and the umpires alike. Today the players will think, well, that's a little bit better than yesterday when the rain was something close to horizontal, but by the time they get midway through the second half and the pulse rates are up at 160, 170, 180, the heat itself will start to play a toll, because it'll just put a fraction more fatigue into the legs.
It's expected to even get hotter. Phil Burrows, the veteran, on screen. Scored the winning goal against Korea, and here's the first real journey downfield for Argentina. It's Brunet who's drawn a couple to him into that attacking left corner. Tomahawk cross just outside the D. And it was off the body of Argentina anyway.
And good team defence from New Zealand, forcing Brunet, who scored that fortuitous goal, brilliant goal, call it what you will, goal off the German stick in the last game from a ridiculously narrow angle. As he was chased down the left-hand side of the pitch, two New Zealanders closing down the inside line, forcing him out to the corner flag to spin away.
Oh, there's a poor touch there. And Shaw finds himself on his bike, chasing back. Martinez didn't really have much support on that solo run down the right. Cousins says we'll play at the other end. Alex Shaw, 24 years of age, reaches the half-century of appearances for his nation. Originally from Wellington. Well, that's got over the top, but unfortunately for Juan Martin Lopez, he couldn't control. He's frustrated as well. Long searching ball got behind the Black Sticks defence. And just a bit of feeling out about this one early. No real fire. New Zealand is trying to maintain a bit of possession. McAleese dribbled that over the sideline, I think, without a touch. In fact, it was Russell. So, inbounding ball here for Brunet.
Yeah, Argentina quite happy to sit back and just hold the ball, not make really incisive runs until there's a definite channel, and that's something we've seen from them over the course of not this tournament but many others.
Matthias Ray was the man with the long ball there. Edwards comes away. A 9th World Cup for New Zealand. Their best ever 7th 3 times. So you'd think if their form holds, they could be certainly on course for a best ever World Cup performance. And Argentina have played every World Cup bar the last time the men and women played together in the Netherlands, which was in Utrecht, just down the road in 1998. And the best efforts for the Lions, twice finishing 6th in London in 1986 and in Kuala Lumpur in 2002. So a good result today gives both teams the opportunity to try and forge a path to their best ever results at a World Cup. Lucas Ray, the captain, and slammed in by Lopez illegally.
And Lopez was hands out wide, saying, well, why is that dangerous? Well, the answer is simple. It's come in at waist height and smashed in, and our umpire Grokal not happy with that at all.
The Black Sticks really did have to make the most of the first couple of games. Back heavy draw as far as the heavyweights in Pool B are concerned. It's Germany next for them, and then the Netherlands in the last game. As a good hassle from behind. Oh, Lucas Villa giving away the free hit. Taranta Pancha, and he's got a bit of space. Goes for the long ball in. Skill from Jenis. But good defence again from the men from South America.
Well, Jenis a tiny touch away from an exceptional bit of skill through the heart of the circle. It just didn't fall for him because there was an upright backhand shot opportunity if the second touch had just taken it away from the defender. But that's the first real inroad from New Zealand. I just feel that whilst they're being controlled around the back, it's not quite the penetration. And when you are just holding the ball like this, the danger is the midfield runs stop being quite as
well, that's a nice bit of
dominant.
work. Yeah, well, McAleese and Burrows there. At least they worked the 45 degrees to get through that midfield, and we've seen the long ball into the D already a couple of times from the Black Sticks, and again Burrows cracks and hopes, and it's off a defender's stick. Lopez ensuring it's not going to threaten the goal. There was an attacker behind him. Jared Pancha. Well, it's Aaron, in fact, out there, the younger of the two brothers. Aaron Pancha with the arm brace. So that was him out there. Yes, just all these brothers from the Kiwis, the Childs, the Panchas. Good to see that there's some strong family links in this Black Sticks team, and that indeed is Aaron, the 25-year-old, really cracking that one in. But Argentina easily away. Mazzilli.
Oh, Mazzilli took it down brilliantly on the head of his own circle. There was a touch through the middle that took it up at head height, and he took it down in one movement and then was able to carry the ball forwards. And what all these players will do is as soon as they get the ball, they'll carry it forwards, they'll get their eyes up and they'll see what's in front of them, see if they can throw space balls, if the forwards are leading out wide from the centre of the circle. If they are, they'll go forwards, otherwise they'll just peel out and recycle, let the team come forward with a little bit more control.
Ibarra. Iardi back to Lucas Ray, who's just a bit more forward in that central position, moving also into the midfield there. That man's busy. Coaching both the Lions and Lionesses here. Carlos Retegui, it's quite unique. We saw him racing from one pitch to the other a couple of days ago. Makes it harder when the two teams are drawn to play on the same day as well in the pool phase.
Well, particularly here at this World Cup with the two stadiums, there's a slight overlap on the games. As we know, we've certainly been faced with charging from one field to another to make sure that we get all the right commentary and reporting done. And for a coach to do that, it's certainly the only example of it at this World Cup.
Again, the Black Sticks just perched outside the D and trying to work out a way to threaten Vivaldi's goal. Simon Child spoiled by Lopez. And again, another big ball as the modus operandi. I don't know about this for the Black Sticks. They're just very keen to crack it in and hope maybe when you've got a player of the skill of Simon Child in the circle, you think, well, put it in hard, he might be able to get a touch. Obviously, Colin Batch has seen something about that defensive style of Argentina that you were talking about.
Yeah, and a moment ago, Phil Burrows cracked one in from a stationary ball on the right-hand side, and I think that's the wrong choice, because if you're static, the defence is set. The last one, we actually see a lateral movement of the ball. It had to go 5 metres before it could crash into the circle anyway, from within the 25. And that's a better option, because if you can get the defenders to move by just a metre, then you get them slightly off balance, then the ball can go through channels. But the concept of crashing a ball in against a static defence, I don't understand at this level.
McAleese and Hayward trying to find angles up front. And no real explosion out of the blocks here. Good to see the Argentinian fans here.
Play.
Plenty of colour at this 2014 Hockey World Cup. And here's a bit of room in midfield. Burrows to McAleese. He's got Pancha down low. Adam Pancha back to Child off the crossbar. That was a brilliant tomahawk strike. And but for the metal, it would have been 1-0.
What a bit of movement. It's a great ball in from Pancha, but Childs picks, turns and hits him one. Vivaldi knows nothing about it. The ball clattering off the crossbar. The first pass from McAleese to Pancha was super, but individually that's exceptional.
Wow. Not the opening goal, but certainly that's got our hearts racing after a pretty measured build-up from both teams. It took 15 minutes, but gee, it would have been something to put in the top drawer of goals in this 2014 World Cup had it found the net. And Argentina now content to just calm their nerves a bit by holding possession. Defensive side of midfield, the long ball from Gilardi doesn't find its target.
And Child with that last chance, demonstrating why that if you were to pick a world team or one of your sticker albums of putting people into certain positions, Charles would be right up there as one of the out-and-out forwards, centre forwards even. He can play through all the different positions, but as a striker, truly exceptional. And that move shot proved it in terms of as soon as the ball was coming to him, he knew where he wanted to trap it so he could get the shot away. There was no hesitancy. The ball wasn't bobbled around. First touch, in off the right foot, twist and smash.
You're second. He's going for the ball. He's going for the ball.
Phil Burrows, appearance 323 for the Black Sticks today for the 34-year-old. Poliat. And that's to no one. No pressure on Blair Tarrant as he let that one go beyond the back line. So you can see the sun beating down on your screens there. Nice change from yesterday's cooler weather, and it's expected to get quite hot on the weekend. Almost matching the stage of the tournament as we get to the back end of the pool phase. The temperatures rise, so this is the last day of match day 3 for Pool B and the men and the women. So after today, all nations at the 2014 World Cup would have played 3 games and have just the 2 left before we get to the classification and medal rounds.
That increase in temperature, we will see it having an effect during the course of the game as the turf just starts to dry out. And the turf, obviously water-based, and the water will evaporate. It'll just dry slightly, and you could see it being a little skippy.
Edwards with a great steal here. Pancha with a chance. Beautiful ball. Great save from Vivaldi. Vivaldi with the glove to the Edwards shot. Oh, Juan Vivaldi, brilliantly done.
And that's a bit of goalkeeping, all about balance, stolen in midfield, and the pass comes in pretty much straight away across the face of goal. Vivaldi head up, left hand across, watches the ball all the way. Great big left hand, body control superb, hips down, textbook goalkeeping.
That's a scrapbook moment for the 34-year-old Juan Vivaldi. Argentina need to find a shot on goal.
No, come on, he was running away. Hey.
Lucas Villa not happy. Wanted a green card there for slowing up the play.
I've watched the whole
Hague
thing.
pivoted and ran away and possibly just left his foot where the ball was.
Pelliat restarts. Oh, there's a bit too much time on the tomahawk there. And for a moment, Devon Manchester might have found himself exposed. Lucas Ray, the skipper, with a great reverse stick strike, but where was the cover?
Very good question. Macauley's got completely undone, and there's two Argentinians on the far post as well from Ray's backhand. That's not a great bit of defending from the Black Sticks, and Manchester, while it was a flamboyant dive, nowhere near it, really.
Almost got inside the net, almost found the deflecting stick as well. So after a measured opening, both teams starting to work away towards the net. Edwards.
Outside.
Burrows is going to come up and take the free hit from just outside the 23-metre or 25-yard line.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Okay, I'll watch both.
Okay, so a bit of communication between the umpires there about suggesting that he needs to keep an eye on what's going on in the circle.
Hayward. It's a good low stick. But Marsili had to do it all himself there. He did the work to stop the foray. It didn't have much support trying to go down the left. So he's gone off for the interchange, and now Chicken Dance has come on down in that left side. Lucas Ray does well. Burnett. Lucas Villa. Pancha with a nice steal. Aaron Pancha to his brother. Not really many men in the central corridor of the ground. They're all bunched down on this right side. Pancha, though, and a very important stick coming in from Matthias Ray.
I was going to say exactly the same thing, Brendan. As New Zealand attacked, they had four men out through the right midfield, right wing attacking channel, but nothing in the middle of the pitch. No support, no transfer pass. And if they allow themselves to just get channeled into a small space, Argentina will be able to be really effective with that defensive shape.
14 minutes to the break, and two really good chances for New Zealand. One off the crossbar, one saved by the keeper, and the one chance for Argentina not on target, but yet to get an opening goal.
Hey!
And now off the ball.
Hands with each other.
This is way left of screen from what you can see there. It's Nick Hague and Guillermo Chicken Dance being spoken to.
Play.
Chicken Dance middle of screen there.
Yeah, we've had a few incidents of that across the matches here, with the umpires obviously been coached or suggested by the umpires manager. They just need to keep an eye on the physical contact. We've had a couple of mentions of shirt tugging and players holding the handles of each other's sticks to affect tackles or to block out attacking defensive areas.
So Lucas Villa will try and play creator here. Well, he leaves it, in fact. Now receives it from Matthias Ray. That ball in is of danger for the Black Sticks. 2-on-2, and oh, Chicken Dance was looming. Nice bit of work by Paredes on the back line. Pretty good defensive stick as it turned out as well. Pelliat. Back to the reset. Argentina winning last year's Pan American Cup in Canada with a 4-0 win over the Canadians, so they're the prominent force in men's hockey in North and South America. Not great penetration on that reverse stick cross from Lucas Villa, but nervous enough for Edwards to push it away quickly.
And with Argentina adopting this fairly pedestrian approach, New Zealand need to make sure that they keep stepping out and putting pressure on the Argentinian backline. if they fall into the trap of playing at the same tempo and they just back off, get on the back foot, Argentina can then start to deliver the ball to players in more dangerous areas. Argentina will rely on their attackers' individual skill down the flanks, and if they pick it up on the halfway line, that isn't a problem. But if they pick it up a lot higher up towards the 25, then they can really eliminate.
I'm watching off the ball.
Simon, we're used to a lot of countries pouring big money into their sports programs before a home Olympic Games. There's been a few controversies around South America, and I know that although Brazil is not Argentina, it's going to be such the event for South America. Do you get the feeling that Argentinian sport is looking forward to the Rio Games as almost a home games in itself?
I would have thought so, in principle, absolutely. I mean, it means that the travel distances are reduced. The big South American passionate crowds haven't got to travel halfway across the world to an event, and it does mean that for the Argentinians, they have so much passionate hockey support, particularly the ladies, not so much the men. They can get there and really buoy their teams and G them on, become the 12th man. So with the strength of both their men's and their ladies' sides and the men increasing their profile, there is opportunity there, yeah.
Good.
Which brings us to the question, what's the strength of Brazilian hockey with host nations given the right to play in all team sports at the Olympics?
Well, there's precedent set with Greece, is that the FIH would look at the strength of Brazilian hockey and make a determination whether they had a realistic competitive chance. I don't know what that status is right now, but I do know there have been conversations about relative strengths of the men and the women and whether they should be involved in the competition. Because what you don't want is a host nation turning up and getting beaten 25-0 every time.
Brunette showing some nice skill to get a stick on that move a moment ago. Marcus Child forages it clear. That was good work. And he gives it to his brother, Simon Child. Oh, and a well-controlled stick above the hip, but still a chance. There was a deflecting stick waiting from Hugo Engels right at the penalty stroke spot.
Ball fighting by Burrows, and Engels has gone front edge rather than flat stick. If he'd gone with the shaft of the stick, that tip-in would have been a lot easier, but if you saw it, he just over-rotated. It was the edge of the stick facing the ball, which would have made it just about impossible to get a clean contact.
Oh, and here's a chance for Marcus Child. Very well-positioned defensive work from Pedro Ibarra in the time of need. Burrows plays on quickly. Marcus Child was beyond the back line, was he? No, free hit. Still the Black Sticks ball.
Ibarra was in the right channel, however, the ball in from Marcus Child was something close to schoolboy. Absolutely no need to just try and hit a ball when you're running upright at that kind of speed to then try and clip hit it. The danger is because you're upright, you have to then drop the knees and you play into the top of the ball and bounce it, as Child did.
McAleese to Simon Child. 3 around him, make it 4. Oh, he's the bee around the petals of a flower there, Simon Child. Absolutely surrounded. Marcus has a go. And McAleese says, let's clear it out a bit, get some space. Shaw with the switch. Tarrant keeps it moving. Panches down low in the left. Ball in. More Marcus Child had a number to beat. Pelliat there with the defending stick for the South Americans, but again, Jared Pancher keeps it moving quickly, and Tarrant hits nothing but the backboard beyond the back line.
He's looking to connect with Simon Child. Simon Child saw it late and didn't move to his right-hand side. He was going to get there, needed to commit, probably go full length on the turf to get an open stick to it. It was the right line of pass, because the tip-in was always going to take it towards goal, but Child just didn't read it early enough.
So New Zealand 2 from 2 in this pool. The Netherlands also 2 wins from 2 games. The Netherlands played Germany in the feature evening game this evening. That's going to be something. A replay of the London Olympic gold medal match, which of course the Germans got the better of.
Oh, untidy from both teams. Turnover, turnover, turnover.
And now Brunette. Well, there's going to be a card this time. Burrows sent for a 2-minute spell.
And no surprise, always the danger with multiple turnovers. We see the stick tap in the end that gives away the green card. But as the ball just bobbles around.
Pelliat's crash ball. Did that find the calf muscle of Lucas Villa? Doesn't matter. New Zealand's away anyway. Jared Pancher.
Both umpires happy to let play go on, even though it had crashed into an Argentinian calf or foot, whatever it was. Good advantage played, because New Zealand had their eyes up as they were leading forwards. Could have made a more penetrating pass.
We haven't seen a goal. Two prominent chances for New Zealand, one for Argentina, and it's been a pretty even scrap so far. Paredes well placed, but still McAleese for New Zealand. It seems that the Black Sticks have just somewhat accepted the defensive prowess of Argentina that we've seen earlier in the tournament. So we're going to take it slowly early on, try a few long balls, getting an incision or two as the half progresses.
Yeah, I'd suggest their contentment to hold the ball is a little bit too deep. I think they need to try and get the half-backs probably another 10-15 yards up the pitch in front of where Russell is now, up towards the 25. If they can hold the ball in those pockets, they have two options. Firstly, they've got that diagonal ball to the heart of the circle, but secondly, they've got the players with individual skill to play the small triangles down the flanks and then exploit the baseline.
Lopez links with Masili out on the right, and good dribbling skill from Masili. And 2-on-1 again inside the D, favouring New Zealand.
Stop, yeah.
But Lucas Villa, again, just waiting for that ball to creep through, circling around the penalty stroke spot.
Well, you look at the Argentina, who've got a six-man backline, 6 men behind the Argentinian forwards.
Brunet. And New Zealand's ball.
Well, Brunet penalised for stick obstruction, deliberately placing his stick between the ball and the defender, effectively blocking it and drawing the contact so that the umpire thinks that it's a foul in his favour. Brochel, as is Madden, far too experienced when it's that close to him to not pick that up.
Lopez brings down well from Lucas Ray, and back to Lopez all the way around the back it will go. Matias Ray. No real intensity in midfield from Argentina as Gilardi. That's a good ball. Brunet trying to stretch them down the left now. Martinez. Nice skill from Martinez. Oh, it took a third man to come in. McAleese took it away, but still alive for Argentina. Brunet. Numbers win out for the men in black.
And that's where Argentina have got outcomes so far during the course of this tournament. It's in the scrappy corners of the pitch where an individual is faced with 2 or 3 opponents, and the Mazilis and the Brunets have just done really well to just bounce the ball off the turf, get it to the air, and then just drift through spaces and accelerate into the circle edge.
Great hustle from Lucas Villa, but Russell able to come away. 3.5 to the break. Still to see a goal in this Pool B game between New Zealand, the world number 6, and Argentina, the world number 11. The Black Sticks 2 wins from 2 starts. Argentina 1-1, but importantly for the South Americans, they've got through the hosts, the Netherlands, and the reigning Olympic champions, Germany, and have picked up 3 points in those very tough games. Jenis in the left corner for the Black Sticks. Simon Child is there with him, but can't control it, and Martinez tries to come away. Side ball, Argentina.
Simon Child appealing for the free hit because the ball had popped up off an Argentinian stick.
Good control from Lucas Villa. That was a tough overhead to take. Got it on the half volley and still is in control. 3 and 4 men around him. He's waiting for the cavalry to arrive, and now they have, so he cracks it. And Tarrant boots it behind. Oh, loose touch there from Juan Martin Lopez, and that alleviates the pressure slightly from a Black Sticks perspective. Nice touch, though, from Matias Ray. And again, Argentina can come forth. Again, numbers against Lucas Villa, trying to do it all himself. But this is the best period for the South Americans of sustained pressure. Getting close to the break. Again, cracked in, but well, off a New Zealand stick. Half a chance for Rocky Manini.
Well, Dean Cousins doing superbly not to give away a penalty corner.
Oh, and there was a chance there for Ray off the Lopez cross. Again, Lopez with the huge crack ball from the right. And Lucas Villa was on one knee trying to reverse deflect it in. Oh, it got through him and it got through Marsili as well.
Yeah, both the men ready, but that whole passage of play was all about Argentinian pressure in their high forward position. New Zealand trying to be cute and dribble it out through left half. Unable to do so, getting turned over. 2-on-1 with Villa and Ray down that right-hand side. And that's where they have got dividends. So whilst we may feel it's a little bit controlled by Argentina, that's where they have got results so far this tournament.
As Child tries to link with Burrows. Little over 60 seconds to the break. And a late chance for the Black Sticks as Child wins the free hit. Burrows takes it quickly, tries to live up to his name and get into the D, but no. The wall is there in blue and white, and the Lions come clear.
This way.
Good communication between the umpires. As Burrows burst in, he was trying to see if the defenders were the requisite 5 yards away. He felt they weren't, but it was one of those moments when they were probably somewhere between 4.5 and 5.5, and the umpires happy, communication between them, that there wasn't any infringement on the rules, so any need to give either a free hit or a corner.
Well, to use a colloquialism, there's a bit of slow burn about this, but I think the heat is slowly rising as we get towards the hooter for half-time. So much at stake. We haven't seen a goal. We haven't seen too many chances, it must be said. But there's a definite method about what both teams are trying to do here. And we'll get through 35 minutes without a goal. Time for the Black Sticks and the Lions to reassess as we hit the 35-minute mark in this Pool B match between New Zealand and Argentina. Black Sticks 0, Lions 0.
Well, as you said, Quinton, it kind of is a slow burn, but it needs a catalyst. It needs something to just make it go boom. There will be a moment, there'll be a moment of brilliance, as we saw from Childs, and a couple of Argentinian opportunities, but I think both teams need to just step their tempo up by 5 to 10%.
You mess with my head, mate.
A few words between Burrows and the umpires as the players move into the rooms here at the Kyocera Stadium. More to come. Make sure you stick around. We haven't seen a goal as yet, but perhaps on the other side of half-time. It's 0-0 between the Kiwis and Argentina. Sprinklers on at half-time. Welcome back to the Kyocera Stadium. Quentin Hull and Simon Mason with you as New Zealand and Argentina couldn't find a goal in the opening 35 minutes. Found a few chances, though, as the crowd look on what is a beautiful day for hockey. Have you got a philosophical winner through the first half? That was the greatest moment we saw of the half, Simon, with Simon Child there, but 0-0. We always then go to the next level. Who's leading the game? Because the scoreboard can't tell us.
Yeah, and we see that Argentina occasionally turning things over, and it's only Vivaldi who's kept them in it on that occasion. So the more meaningful chances coming from New Zealand, but it's not consistent from either team. Neither team handling the ball particularly well through high midfield channels, and you feel that they need to do so. Argentina, in this instance, resorting to a ball into the circle and a crash from a diagonal. Some relatively poor New Zealand defending, and it's just moments at the moment that are suggesting that either team can come and score. It's not any sort of real built-up possession over a long period of time.
Well, this might help us, and well, got the feel about it that New Zealand did have more of the ball in attack.
Well, I think they did, but it's come to very little. Argentina have sat back and allowed New Zealand just to get over the halfway line. I think if we were able to break that down into kind of 5-yard blocks, a massive amount of that 66% would be within 5 or 10 yards of the halfway line, where they've just held the ball and looked for channels to hit down.
Get to see a penalty corner in the game. It's quite rare to go through a half without a penalty corner. That is a terrific outfit. Well done, you guys. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, well,
hey? And if you dress up like that, you've got to tweet it, haven't you? At FIH_hockey, hashtag RHWC 2014.
He is.
He's checking. He's liking FIH Hockey on Facebook. That's what he's doing, that guy, for sure. See little montages of the goals, best saves of the day, as well as your standard highlights of each game.
Yeah, with that hashtag RHWC 2014, you can pick up all the latest messages, see what's going on. There's people involved with a whole load of stuff on those social media platforms.
I discovered that there's a Hockey World Cup rumours Twitter account as well. I must admit, I haven't checked it out as yet because I don't like to deal in rumour and innuendo, but I found it quite interesting.
Well, the beauty is that the rumours are so far away from the truth. It's fantastic.
Well, let's get down pitch side with Colin Batch.
Colin, tough game, very little between the two sides, although you've had most of the ball in attack. What's your take on that first 35?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of good elements to it. We've created one or two very good chances. Some good goalkeeping kept us out. We've got to keep persisting with some of those opportunities. Got to be careful with the ball and set up so we protect the counter.
Argentina seemed to be trying to slow the pace down. What was the message to the guys at half-time?
Well, we're trying to play at our pace, and that includes sometimes slowing it down. But when we get an opportunity, we want to go quickly. We've got the speed up front to take advantage of that.
Argentina seem to get quite a lot of joy in the corners with their individual skill. How do you counter that?
Yeah, it's something we spoke about. Definitely, we don't want to engage too much in there. We want the ball out, so we'll see what we can do in the second half.
Colin, many thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to the bench.
Charlie Broom with Colin Batch, and great that the coaches do just spare us a moment or two of their valuable time at half-time to just take you a little bit closer to the rooms here. The DJ's obviously desperate for a corner because this is the music they usually play before a penalty corner.
Yeah.
We haven't seen one in the first half.
No, they're geeing the crowd up, and around the ground it looks like there aren't many people in, but there must be a few thousand in here even for this game at the middle of the day. The supporters passionate, but it's mostly youngsters jumping up and down right now.
So let's see if we can find a goal. A couple in this second half. Second half between New Zealand and Argentina begins as the game began with yet a goal to be scored. 0-0 as the Black Sticks attack your left of screen in this second half. Glorious conditions approaching 2 o'clock local time on a Friday afternoon here in The Hague. I know it's ticked beyond midnight Friday night in New Zealand. Those sitting up late.
A great recovery from Jenis. He twisted and turned, manages to pick up a foot in the end, but it was all about the work that he did down the right-hand side. The first initial take from him, and then driving down the baseline.
Well, Hayward's ball came off a defender's stick, did it? Not dangerous.
Yeah, it did come off a defender's stick, went straight for a clear channel out on the far side.
Burrows with the long corner. Yeah, just for a moment, waiting to see whether the umpire thought that went anywhere near a Black Sticks body to award the first penalty corner of the game. Cousins was hoping for Simon Child, and Simon Child doesn't like the service. Black Sticks bench. It's one of the great disadvantages of playing in that striking playing strip of the New Zealand sporting teams. On hot days, black doesn't really help. But you think of an all-black strip in sport and you think of New Zealand, just as you think of the blue and white stripes of Argentina. Now, Nasili trying to hold up the ball in midfield and put on a bit of trickery. Beautiful skill, though, from Hague to come away. Jenis. Well, he had Matthias Ray tracking him, and that's good enough from Ray just to help hold up the Black Sticks there.
Yeah, both the players, Jenis and then Burrows after that, with the ball outside to the left, tried to just pull it 45 degrees right to left.
Well, spinning pass there from Child. He had 3 against him. He was looking for Ingles. And it seems to be, get it to Simon to do something brilliant, and it was almost another good moment for the number 6 in black. Certainly got it between those 3 men. He does draw attention, Simon Child, as Lucas Ray is looking to get this moving quickly. But again, 5 players behind the halfway line when Argentina get that ball in midfield. Lopez. And a one-time crack, almost found the target. Paredes was waiting. Marcelli gave it everything. And it was a pretty good cross in the end.
As it gets cracked up from under the arm, it's a blind pass across the circle. It's a full length from Paredes, who tries to get a blade on it, but unable to get enough strength through the left wrist to get it inside the far post of Manchester.
Brunette.
Play!
Charging run there from Matthias Ray, but unfortunately again is dispossessed. I think we're destined, Simon, to sit here and watch this game of chess. No, it's almost death of 1,000 cuts until the nuclear bomb just is going to land with one of those big balls being deflected, or a magnificent bit of individual skill.
Yeah, it's not like either team is hanging on here.
Lopez with great control of the overhead, and again, it's 2 on 4 against Argentina in the circle, so Lopez looks up and thinks, I might as well drive the back line.
Yeah, and as you say, they're only attacking with those 2 or 3 men against 4 or 5 of the Black Sticks defence, but that is no different to how they've played at any other time this tournament. So they're used to doing it.
Another long corner.
And slowly just winding play up into the dangerous areas.
Lopez again with the glory ball, but McAleese was very well placed, and Pancha puts it on a path for Ingles to run on.
Clever from Ingles, dropping that ball off, not running away from his midfield, actually drawing them up into the contest. The problem being that drop ball means that the Argentinian front line can retreat to the halfway, and they've again got all 11 men behind the ball, congesting, frustrating, not giving Argentina any channels to play in.
Yes, it's a stonewall at the moment. That took an Argentinian touch, so McAleese Quickly plays on. Good low stick from Matthias Ray. And Martinez is the target. Under half an hour to play. And let's put the old commentator's curse on this one, Simon. I'm going through my scrapbook, which does need a few holes filled in from yesterday, but we haven't had a scoreless draw at this World Cup, have we?
Oh, I'm glad you put the curse on it, so
exactly, that's why I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, it's worth getting it in early.
Give it a mention. We haven't had 0-0 at this World Cup yet.
Say it louder.
Hands on the stick. Mr. English.
Hayward to Burrows. Which way will he go? And again, that's a very well placed defensive stick. Ibarra reading it well.
Well, if you're going to slap in from there, you need to do it with a bit more disguise. Burrows, huge strength through the forearms, the arms and the shoulders, can play a ball in on a straight line slap very, very powerfully, but it hasn't got the sliding movement that some of the fullbacks and halfbacks will have to open the wrists up. Instead of playing down a straight line, playing off that straight line, and that gives the disguise and makes it harder for the set fullbacks to pick.
Ibarra for Matthias Ray. In fact, Ray's in midfield. Here's Lucas Ray on the ball, and Gilardi. Argentina just trying to work it into that position where they're in range to put that long ball in. Masili goes all the way back. Doesn't seem to be any panic from either team, just letting their opposition work it through midfield, and this is the danger time. Make sure you're switched on when the ball gets to the D. Martinez with some good skill, good touch from Hague. Play on, Lucas Villa. He's trying to find a way through, wins the penalty corner. First penalty corner of the game.
And Argentina are a little unhappy. Bizarrely, they've got the corner, but unhappy about the advantage that was allowed. Ray just having a quiet word, or Villa having a quiet word, sorry, about why it was blown so early as we see him drive the baseline. The touch off the top edge of the Black Sticks stick, and then that play not allowed to continue. But I think Madden was right to blow that up. Could quite easily have been a baseball-style swing around the face if I wasn't careful.
So the Black Sticks suit up. Masili will bring in for Argentina. Pelliat and Ibarra at the top of the battery for Argentina. First penalty corner of the game is a goal for Argentina! Gonzalo Pelliat has put the Lions ahead.
And Manchester has not read that at all. You have to anticipate or think there must have been some kind of disguise. Watch Manchester's position. He's to his right, but he doesn't get his hips down, he doesn't get his body in the way, he just kind of puts a right glove down to the floor, but it's late. There's a man behind him, but I don't understand where he's standing, why he's gone with his hand. He doesn't need to dive. A big right boot would have kicked that away pretty successfully.
So we won't get 0-0 here.
Well, we might see a video referral, however. Are they blowing that? Because to me that came up in the first instance of the New Zealand stick, but the coach Retegui on the sideline calling for the video referral. Vivaldi has gone to Marcel Lockout, and he has said in his opinion it wasn't dangerous. I think it's too late now, isn't it? No, they are going for it.
So penalty corner awarded, but Argentina.
The question being?
Yeah, he put the ball high first, and it's not 5 meters of me.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I've got to say, I'm with Ibarra because I felt that they put the ball, that New Zealand put the ball up.
Putting it upstairs. Okay. Dion, did you hear that?
Yes, Martin, looking for the raised ball.
For me, the ball went off the Argentinian defender, went up. The attacker was trying to play it, but it was just unplayable. I went for a penalty corner.
Yeah, so the
danger was
first
caused
touch
by the
from
defender.
New Zealand, the first touch from
hear
New
you.
Zealand does go up in the air.
I will have a look.
So it's Hilton's stick.
finish the
You see
conversation.
first and foremost
It's not
here.
a time to
Up
have that discussion.
first, then it comes up of Argentina. But if Marcel Groca didn't consider the first touch from Hilton to be dangerous, then it is the Argentinian touch that creates the danger. Is that dangerous? That is. That creates danger, but is Hilton
this was fine enough.
guilty of putting it up in the first instance?
Yeah, come back.
You were happy with the first raise, was not dangerous,
Yep.
and thereafter the Argentinian player has played the ball dangerously. A penalty corner should be awarded.
Okay.
Stay with your decision.
Argentina loses their referral.
Correct.
Thank you.
So that's a blow for Lucas Ray and his team. They lose their right of referral for the remaining 25.5 minutes of the game, and will also face the battery of the Black Sticks for the first time at the penalty corner. It's a touchy one, but
Yeah, and if you feel, however, that the first touch, the fullback, if as it came up off Hilton's stick, if the fullback had just stepped in with a flat stick and stopped it, it wouldn't have been considered dangerous, but he's played at it and created the danger.
Russell and Hague at the drag flickers at the top of the battery for the Black Sticks. First penalty corner, New Zealand. Russell into the lead runner. Great work from the New Zealand, from the Argentina defence. But there's going to be another penalty corner. And there's no right of referral.
No, it's the second umpire, Martin Madden. Grockel can't see it. He hasn't seen the line of run. The support umpires called it. New Zealand were going to go to referral anyway, so they immediately felt that it was a corner.
Here we go.
Out to the top. Russell doesn't get on top of it, but it does come off a stick and then a kneecap. There's no issue about that at all. It's stick first from Argentina, head of stick and then up into the knee of the #1 runner. So the rear ward is the right decision.
And still Russell and Hague the most likely. Russell again. Good defending stick. And I don't know whether that was on target anyway. It's hacked clear. So Argentina survived the penalty corner, but New Zealand still a chance to bring it in from this left side.
Yeah,
Cousins.
I'm with you, Quentin. I don't think that Russell got a real good flick on that. I think he opened his hands up too much and it was going to be going wide of the right-hand post. Even so, Mateus Ray did brilliantly, having decided to play at it, to take it down absolutely dead, because it could easily have been deflected off him back inside that far post.
So Argentina remains 1-0 ahead, despite a couple of penalty corners going to the Black Sticks. And, well, we hadn't seen a goal. We hadn't seen a penalty corner in the first half. That's all changed. Argentina with the lead. And a bit of theatre of the penalty corner as well. 24 minutes to full time. New Zealand with 2 wins from 2 appearances. Argentina lost to the Netherlands, beat Germany. They're right in the fight here, the world number 11. If they pick up all 3 points today, and well, New Zealand, if they were able to come from behind and win, it would be an absolute joy for Black Sticks fans, even though the 2 tough assignments of Germany and the Netherlands are to come. McAleese over the halfway. Edwards is dispossessed, and Mateus Ray comes away.
But that single lateral pass was a little bit delayed, and it meant that New Zealand could recover. They had good defensive shape, because as Edwards went through that midfield and did get dispossessed, the other inside forwards had just narrowed towards the centre of the pitch, and it gave a really good strength down the spine of the turf.
Here's the flick that was going wide, and Mateus Ray, as you said, great skill off the heel of the stick.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knew that much about it looking at that replay, because his first in...
Whoa! At the other end, Manchester's a long way from home. What's he doing up there? Free hit to New Zealand, but Augustin Masili, he was almost about to make Devon Manchester look silly.
Well, Manchester's been stood at the top of his circle trying to command and call pretty much throughout the whole of this game, and I think he just got caught too high on a turnover ball in the middle of the Argentinian forward positions, the deep defensive New Zealand positions. In doing so, then got sucked further to the ball and very nearly did look silly.
Edwards trying to play creator. Simon Child back to Burrows. Russell, Cousins and Shaw. As they switch from right to left. The man playing his 50th cap, Alex Shaw. McAleese pressured from behind by Martinez, but still the Black Sticks with the free hit. 11 Lions between the ball and the goal. Burrows, deflection, goal! It's a goal for Jenis.
Jenis, yeah, absolutely.
Jenis has got the telling deflection, and the Black Sticks draw level.
Jenis rolls through a collision at the edge of the circle as the whole move is set up. He rolls away into space, and then it's a touch as it's led in on the forehand. He comes through, steps in front of his defender. It's not great defending at all, and from that distance, Vivaldi also looking a little bit unsighted. Should have done better than that. That's gone past the left toe of his kicker.
First goal of the tournament for the 23-year-old Steve Jenis. And that lead earned by Argentina didn't last all that long. Back to level terms. This is Brunet getting it in. Chicken dance. Oh, just couldn't hold it on his stick. Russell harassed by Manini. Penalty corner. Well done by Joaquin Manini to ensure no clearance for Russell. And a penalty corner. The second penalty corner of the game for Argentina.
I thought Russell had done really well to get the ball out from under his feet, and then all of a sudden it's a great reaching tackle from Manini as Russell tries to drive away. Probably should have taken a firmer touch to get the ball out the circle in the first instance. Manini reaches round and just tweaks the ball away.
10 seconds.
Paredes to bring in.
Okay.
Ibarra and Pellat again. It's going to be the goal scorer, doubling up for Argentina. What a powerful strike from Pellat. Argentina back in front. Two-1 to the Lions.
And Manchester looks a lot more active diving to his left. Maybe that's his favourite side, but doesn't get there because of the pure pace. Look at the action as Piat pulls it from the back of his stance and whips it through. Manchester's left glove getting where it needs to be, but about a half a second late, which in terms of a penalty corner means it's hit the backboard and hit him in the back of the head as it's come out.
Well, that's 3 goals for the tournament now. And Devon Manchester didn't have much chance at all. 2 corners for Argentina, 2 goals. And after going through, what, 45 minutes without a goal, we've seen 3 in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
And if you look at it holistically, you kind of, one of these teams needs to win this game looking forward to the rest of the competition. A draw doesn't really do any of them that many favours. An Argentinian win sticks them right back up there, having played the tougher teams. And with New Zealand, with Netherlands playing Germany later on today, if Germany were to go down in that game, it would put them in all sorts of trouble, with Argentina clearing away above them.
That's going to be a cracker. And this one's turning out to be a good game. Now, Mazzilli was dispossessed in midfield. And Jenis has Pancha. And Simon Child now trying to put on some trickery. Russell back to the skipper Cousins. Just seems a bit more hustle in midfield from Argentina now, not letting New Zealand have as much time. I don't know whether you get the same feeling, Simon, but I just sense that press in midfield. It's not full on, but the Lions just making sure that man and his team are having to work a bit harder if they are to maintain possession in midfield, as Carlos Retegui, as ever, with a pensive look.
Yeah, and Argentina just need to keep their shape. They've demonstrated so well this tournament that they've got shape.
Well, here's a little 1-2 move from McAleese and Tarrant. And penalty corner New Zealand as McAleese hits the turf.
Well, I'm surprised there isn't a card to follow a blow on the whistle that hard from Gruchel, because Burrows got bustled and battered to the turf. Well, you see here is a great little sliding pass to Burrows, and the impact shoulder to shoulder has sent him to the floor.
Well,
20 seconds.
slow motion replay. Oh, he tripped himself up a little
15
bit.
seconds.
Yeah. The tumble, I think, was of greater impact than the collision. But anyway, it is a penalty corner. Argentina can't fight it. They haven't got a referral. And it's Hayward who's going to miss-hit that terribly. Mistime the drag flick.
Okay.
And Matthias Ray is down after clearing that ball well. Andy Hayward has had a shocker there. Ball, I think, was still spinning from the trap, and it spun away and out of the stick.
It did indeed, and that's what happens when you rush. You get that burst of adrenaline through the course of winning the corner. You know how important it is, and you just need to steady yourself, because the execution of that, as we saw from Pelliot earlier on, is all about the pick, the acceleration, not overcooking it, and then the whip at the end of the movement. And if Hayward's gone a little bit hard at the very first stage of that, it does come off the end of the stick, and then it's going absolutely nowhere.
2-1 Argentina with a tick over a quarter of an hour to play. Lucas Villa in a hole. And New Zealand come away. Marcus Child trying to work it away from Matthias Ray. He's got Burrows down the right. The game has lifted in intensity, that's for sure. Burrows back to Marcus Child, but an uncontrolling stick allows the skipper Lucas Ray to get back. Oh, he's given it back to Child. That was kind. New Zealand with the long corner. McAleese trying to slam it in. Ibarra well placed. Let's get out of here. Oh, but dangerous. So New Zealand's ball inside the 25. Yes, we've just gone from the side roads onto the motorway here. You can just feel the gears lifting and the accelerator being put down a little more. The speedometer is rising in this contest.
Well, New Zealand have obviously got to force play a little bit. They were off the pace in the first 35. In terms of creating many opportunities, it may have been a controlled performance. As Colin Batch said at half-time, he was happy with some of the positives. We sat up here thinking they just need to do something, find 5 or 10% more. This suggests it's going to be more positive, but it does leave holes at the back, and Argentina with space have got the individual skill to exploit that.
Tarrant to Aaron Pancha. Engels. Bit of space for Hugo Engels to try his skill, of which he possesses plenty. Draws the foot. Play on. No, back to the pass. Burrows found the body. No, play on. And Lucas Villa. Oh, pretty strong contact there without a whistle. Umpires letting these two teams play hockey.
Yeah, and they're quite prepared to square up and go shoulder to shoulder. There was stick contact initially. Burrows driving the ball through.
McAleese, Pancha. Marcus Child was thereabouts. But the defender was there. Blacksticks pressing hard, trying to return to parity. Again, same player, McAleese, Pancha to his brother. He goes down, no penalty corner. Brunet away for Argentina. That went over the side. So the Blacksticks retain the pressure.
Guys, I'm watching the same.
Edwards. Child. Tarrant. No one. Long corner. Well, defender had to put the stick on that. He doesn't have the advantage of knowing that there's no Kiwi at the post, as Edwards drives in brilliantly, beating a couple. Still Steve Edwards, but Ibarra stops the impressive run of the 28-year-old. Oh, and that's a heavy collision.
More, he's standing still. Hey, what do you expect him to do? Disappear? Come on.
And the Scottish accent of Martin Madden adding to the occasion.
Doctor, guys,
Oh, that would have hurt though. What do you expect him to do? Disappear?
Exactly. He's gone down for a tackle, and it's not malicious. He's gone for the ball. Everything's in the right place, Nick Hague, and there is a heavy impact, but and there's a nasty whip because as he lands, he's landed on his coccyx and just jolted his spine in there for his neck's gone a little bit, so it'll be sore just as it starts to stiffen up for Matthias Ray. There's an interesting exchange down below us from Martin Madden to Carl Stratuggi on the bench, who was obviously making his opinion felt. Madden just turned to look him straight in the eye and then called the technical official and went, "You can have a word with him."
Took over 12 minutes left. So vital for New Zealand to get something out of this game, to really ram home the good work of their first 2 wins against the 2 lower-ranked teams in the pool, in Korea and South Africa. But Argentina, well, ranked 11 in the world, they came in with that ranking, but haven't played to it at all. They've been able to get past Germany. Went down to the Netherlands on the second day of the tournament. Rankings go out the door. It's all about performance here at the Kyocera Stadium. Hilton. Simon Child back to Blair Hilton.
Well, that's quicker interchange from New Zealand. Oh, that could be a card quite. He has a player going to ground deliberately to break down the line of pass. Hague with his arms out, suggesting, come on, what can I do about that? I was just saying the New Zealand interchange of passes is better.
Shorter Hilton. Was there a stick check there? Yes, there was, but just outside the D. And
18! 18! Valeros!
Hold on, hold on. Guido Barreiros. I'm watching you. Watch out. Barreiros. Now that's gone for a long corner in the end. I thought there may have been a penalty just at the top of the circle. But no. And, oh, fortunate for New Zealand and Jenis. So New Zealand able to maintain pressure. Pancher again. Edwards well tackled by Lucas Ray, the captain, coming up at a time of need. 2-1 Argentina with 10.5 to play.
Good quick hands on the baseline from the captain as he took it down off his toes. The ball had bobbled up and he was able to pick on the reverse, drop it down.
Vasily. Lopez. Nice skill. But just too far in front of him. He did draw the free hit though. He hasn't got many friends in the D. There's 5 Black Sticks back and only 2 Argentinians right around the penalty stroke spot. So Lopez just has to go on his own.
Yeah, these Argentinian forwards, we could easily find that it's some kind of dribbling contest as they get given it high up the pitch, because Argentina won't commit that many men to the attack. They're going to hold a 5 or 6-man defensive line.
Well, Lopez draws the foot, takes the auto pass. Great tackle. Great tackle from Shaw. His pass nearly let him down, but he's got back onto it. Courtesy of Simon Child. That found a foot. Kiwi ball.
Shaw, for a big man, did really well to get his left hand firmly down. And we look at the shots on target stat as it comes up, 6-2 in favour of New Zealand, but trailing in this contest, so Argentina have certainly made the most of their 2 shots. 2
on target, 2 in the net, 2 in the scorebook. That's a great conversion rate. Wonderful skill here from Masili. Is that a penalty corner? No.
No, Masili set that up, and that's not cynical as such, but the appeal, he's just knocked it down the defender's left foot and then happily ran into his chest to try and make the most of it inside the 25 and draw the corner for a perceived deliberate foul. There wasn't one, and the umpire's taking it back.
Well, Masili's cross ricochets to a dangerous position. Lucas Ray gets some help from behind. They're appealing for a corner, and they get it. And almost,
he has played it on
after the penalty corner had been blown, a reverse stick shot nearly went into the net, but I think Manchester had stopped. Let's have a look at this penalty corner into the boot.
Well, it does go into the boot, definitely. And then we just watch, if we watch play go on, there's no doubt about the first decision off the feet. Now the spin and hit on the backhand is brilliant. I don't know whether Manchester had stopped or not, but it crashed into the crossbar and away down into the stands below us.
Well, Hood back against Gonzalo Pellat. He's 2 from 2. Is he out there, though? Yep, he's there.
Okay, now.
Ibarra also at the top of the battery. Try for a third time. The lead runner hit on the knee. Or the shin pads, I should say. Another penalty corner.
Yep, Shea McAlee's out, stick in front of shins, running that aggressive #1 line to protect the ball out. Manchester's read it. Big left kicker has gone out behind his #1 runner. He saw it all the way. Didn't get as far as him, though.
Okay.
It's worked before. Do they try and change it up here? They went to Pellat again. This time, once more, Pellat! Why not? He makes it a hat-trick! Gonzalo Pellat has Argentina 3-1 ahead. And you'd think, headed for 3 points in this vital game.
But it's Manchester's right hand again, and that's gone through him. This is pure pace from Pellat. There's nothing obscuring Manchester's view. It's down the right foot of the #1 runner, and he's absolutely whipped it past the goalkeeper, who's on his knees. There's no issue with height, but unable to explode and get his left hand across to create an effective barrier.
You reckon the Argentinian bench like that? Great emotion from Carlos Retegui. A hat-trick for Gonzalo Pellat.
Well, he knows how that sets his team up in this competition with the games that they've already played. Doesn't close the game out completely yet, but it certainly puts it a lot further away from New Zealand.
Well, a fourth you'd think would shut the door for sure. And again, Argentina on attack, and that off a defensive stick has gone behind. So long corner for Masili. Lucas Villa. Oh, well done.
Clean.
But just ran out of friends and couldn't keep the ball close enough to his stick. Burrows is intercepted.
That's a clever turn infield from Villa. Not in the end, though, because he's had it stolen from him by Engels.
Engels outnumbered, but keeps going on the fast break. Has no choice. Is that a penalty corner?
No,
Was
I
it
think
outside
that's
the 25?
Just outside.
Yellow card. Yellow card for Pedro Ibarra. And lucky it wasn't a penalty corner. Oh, yes. Got his stick. Oh, and that save has been forced just as we were watching the replay there. Danger for Vivaldi.
Yeah, Panchea led laterally across behind the entire Argentinian defence. Got a touch, and it ricocheted up into Vivaldi's chest pad. Ibarra being done. Engels did exactly the same skill 3 times on a spin. We see here crash balling from Burrows. It might even have been a defensive touch in front, not Panchea at all. Either way, good save from Vivaldi, not taking a chance and letting it go past him.
Well, New Zealand had this one-man advantage all bar 40 seconds of the rest of the contest.
Careful.
Lucas Villa wins the free hit.
Now, and the urgency will go out of the Argentinian attack. They won't force play. They might try a few of the crash balls in straight along the baseline, but they'll happily hold it in these corners for as long as possible. But they do need to be disciplined on their retreats. The forwards not getting back quite as well, and it's been their 11-man defence that's really generated outcomes for them.
Bad ball. Paredes says, thank you very much, I'll jump on that. Doesn't this really open up Pool B? New Zealand, 2 wins, 1 loss. Argentina, 2 wins, 1 loss. That's, of course, unless New Zealand find 2 goals or 3 in the remaining 4.5 minutes. Germany, having been beaten one of their 2 games, play their arch rival, the Dutch, tonight. Unfortunately for Korea and South Africa, they're outside watching the party, but the 4 that are invited are having a pretty tight battle.
Yeah, if Argentina pull this off, it's those bottom 2 teams that they've still got to play, and on current form, you'd expect them to take the points, and that puts them right up there for those semi-final berths.
McAleese. No real time for patience for the Black Sticks now. Whatever tricks they've got, they need to bring them out. Hague with the long ball. Good stick from the goal scorer. Times 3. Pelliat was there, and again Burrows just trying to get it in quickly. Good work from the veteran. Put behind. Is it a penalty corner? No. Umpire didn't deem it was a deliberate push beyond the back line.
Well, Hague was the only man who appealed for it. In a different type of contest, but it could have been considered as such. New Zealand resorting to long forced passes into the circle.
Inside the 23, outside the circle.
Argentinian stick. McAleese found the body. Well, it would be interesting if they could crash one in here. Cousins lifts it, and that almost could be it for the Black Sticks.
Well, Vivaldi is messing around with the ball near his penalty spot. He'll waste 10 seconds doing that. Would surprise me if Pelliat wastes a few more, just standing and looking for simple overheads.
Well, again, another New Zealand chance. Burrows had no one around him to help out, though. So Argentina away. Matthias Ray well challenged. Simon Child, if he can get his stick on it, he might be able to do something, but time keeps ticking away.
Doesn't it? Some New Zealand legs out there that are chasing, but I'm not sure there's complete conviction. That's the ball I thought Pelliat should have thrown from the 16 a moment ago. He can chuck a 60-70 yard aerial. That's off the baseline, and the beauty for Argentina is the height that he threw it. It's coming down and pretty much dying. Some sort of pitching wedge on a golf course as he tries to get it as close to the pin as he possibly can.
So Germany and the Netherlands to come in this group for New Zealand. Korea and South Africa await Argentina, who will go to that fixture with 2 from 3. There might be another goal as, oh, a lovely bit of skill has been shown by Marsili.
He stands with his arms outstretched over the baseline as if to say, look, I've taken that down, I've dribbled it, I've given you an upright backhand cross across the circle. There wasn't a lot more that Mazzilli could do. Unfortunately, his Argentinian compatriots didn't get on the far post to support him.
Inside the last minute. We didn't see a goal, we didn't see a penalty corner in the first half, but it's been the power of Pelliat. That has been the difference today at the penalty corner for Argentina. Not once, not twice, but thrice. The big number 2 striking home. New Zealand did draw level with a Steve Jennis field goal, but now the Argentinian fans in the stands are standing. They're happy enough to realise now that they can applaud their men for doing the job. As we tick inside the last 20 seconds, the fans of the Lions are about to roar, because this 2014 World Cup campaign for Carlos Retegui and his men is well placed through 3. Both teams will be 2 and 3, but Argentina with the momentum to go into the back end of the pool phase. Great result for the Lions, and Pelliat with a hat-trick has brought the smile to the faces of the South American faithful. Argentina 3, New Zealand 1.
And it was pedestrian at times in the first half, but all of a sudden that man in the middle of the screen with 3 corners, he's not renowned for having the greatest power in world hockey, but today he's beaten Manchester all ends up, through him and around him, to give Argentina the result that they wanted.
Concern for the Black Sticks now, with the gold and silver medalists from London to come. But what a Pool B we've got unfolding here at the 2014 World Cup. Joy for those in blue and white as Argentina defeat New Zealand by 3 goals to 1. Shortly we hope to hear from the combatants and what has turned out to be an absolutely glorious Friday. We didn't see a goal before half-time, but they came pretty quickly afterwards.
Yeah, and the highlights reel might have a fairly similar theme to it after this New Zealand equalised. The touch from Jenis in the middle of the circle after some average Argentinian goalkeeping. Drilled in from Burrows, and Jenis just leads across on the forehand. Then we get a replica corner, albeit to the other side past Manchester's flailing left hand, and then finally going through him high to his right. Neither glove getting anywhere near the ball, and the power of the man straight down the channel. Goalkeeper can see it, but doesn't get there with that big right mitt. Not exploding quite enough, and the coach exploding, however, on the sideline with joy.
Let's head down to Charlie Broom. He has Dean Cousins.
Dean, tough defeat. Talk us through, because at a half-time you're in the ascendancy.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was a pretty even game. Yeah, the difference today was the penalty corners, right? They scored 3, I think, from 3, and pretty sure we had 3 also. So I thought that it's that little detail, those little bits of defending, and obviously at the other end in the circle, I thought they defended very well.
Makes life pretty difficult for you now. You've got 2 very, very big games coming up against Germany and the Netherlands. Go away and pick yourselves up. How do you do that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy. It's the World Cup, so I expect that we're hurting a lot from this defeat because it was a big game for us and we didn't quite get across the line, so that's hard to take. But like I said, we're at the World Cup, and I don't think we've got to have any problems getting ourselves up for the next 2 games.
Listen, Dean, thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate it after a loss like that.
Cheers, thanks.
So Dean Cousins displaying very contrasting emotions to the one we can see on screen. He's got a busy fortnight, that man. New Zealand's still up on top of the standings, but the Netherlands and Germany to come, and Argentina through 3 games right in the fight, and they play Korea and South Africa in their next 2 games. Korea and South Africa play today, so too do the Netherlands and Germany. So this story will unfold a little more today. Let's get back down to Charlie, who's got one of the Argentinians with him.
Yeah, I've got the man with the tree trunk forearms, Gonzalo Payat. Gonzalo, fantastic penalty corner routine. It worked well for you today, but a good performance.
Yeah, we had a good performance, and we need the points, and well, I get it now.
You came in, or Argentina come in, as a low-ranked nation, but you're playing very, very well. What do you put that down to?
Yeah, we start some mistake with Netherlands, and now we are a good performance, and we are step by step. We have to sing in the next match in Korea, and we have the points, and we need it.
You had a good win against Germany. You've backed that up now with a very good win here today. Got to keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah, we have the feet on the ground now because we have chances now.
3 penalty corners, they seem to work well. What seemed to click today?
We are very happy about that. We are now enjoying.
Gonzalo, listen, many congratulations. Well played here today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he did a lot of his talking with the penalty corner striking today, Gonzalo Payat, and we really do appreciate the athletes. English not their natural language, but always good to hear whatever they have to say about the 70 minutes of hockey we've seen. Thanks, Simon. This pool really is developing nicely, and of course the big match between Germany and the Netherlands to come. Germany awaits next for New Zealand on Sunday, and Argentina will take on Korea, and it's a buoyant Argentina. Plenty of hockey to come today from the Kyocera Stadium, so if you can, stick around. If your TV broadcasters aren't broadcasting the game, remember the live stream during YouTube is always available to see whatever you'd like. Thanks for your company as Argentina beat New Zealand 3-1.